Good morning everyone, how are you all? It's Laura here from Sea Clear Counselling. Another beautiful day, so I thought I would come out in the garden. A little bit breezy, so I might keep playing with my hair. But hasn't it been wonderful to have the sun shining over the last few days? So today I'm going to be talking about panic attacks. So what are panic attacks? Well, they are intense moments of fear that are usually accompanied by intense physical symptoms that are extremely scary for you. And the fear of these physical symptoms will usually lead to these panic attacks intensifying. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Laura and I'm a counsellor and cognitive behavioural therapist and run my own private practice, Sea Clear Counselling. And every Wednesday morning I come on my Facebook page, Sea Clear Counselling, and just give you a little tip around managing and reducing your anxiety. So please do follow my Sea Clear Counselling Facebook page and you can regularly see these videos. And if you want to know more about my services, then you can follow me, join my website www.seaclearcounselling.co.uk. And it's nice to see some people joining me. Hello Alex, hello Trudy, how are you? So panic attacks, as I say, those intense moments of fear that are accompanied by intense and scary physical symptoms. So, have you experienced a panic attack? Has there been this whoosh of fear? And then with that whoosh of fear, you've had those very intense physical symptoms, the chest pains, the racing heart, maybe feeling like you're choking and unable to breathe, lightheadedness and dizziness, feeling like you might faint, really churning tummy and feeling like you might be sick. You might even feel that you're not really here, that everything around you is kind of like far away or foggy, and you can really feel like you might be having a heart attack, you might die because you can't breathe, or that you're going completely crazy. And generally none of these things are true. It is a panic attack. But the fear of those physical symptoms leads you to have even more fear, and we lead to those panic attacks. So a panic attack is generally a fear of the fear. So we may have that whoosh of anxiety and we may feel some of those physical symptoms and we feel the intensity of that anxiety, but once we start fearing the fear, and usually fearing those physical symptoms, that those physical symptoms are going to lead to something that is even more scary for you, as I say, having a heart attack, choking, fainting, then that fear of the fear will lead to those panic attacks. And we get into a vicious cycle of fearing those symptoms then intensifying because of that fear. We then have even more fear of those physical symptoms, and that fear then feeds those physical symptoms and they intensify even more. And we get into this vicious cycle of the fear of the fear. Now, panic attacks, when we first have them, can almost seem like they come out of nowhere. And suddenly we're in this space where we are absolutely terrified, and those physical symptoms are making us think that something really terrible is happening to us. Sometimes they can be triggered by situations or events, and then we're in that feeling the fear of that situation or event. And for some people, those panic attacks, that fear of the fear, leads to those panic attacks happening very regularly, 2, 3, maybe even more times a day. So if you've experienced this, and very often when you do experience this, it may be that you end up in A&E or phoning 111 or going to your GP because you feel that there is physically something wrong with you. But actually, all those physical symptoms are being driven by the fear, which is switching on your fight or flight response. Now, if you have had this and you've been to your GP or A&E and they have reassured you that nothing physically is wrong with you, then it may well be that you are experiencing regular panic attacks. And as I say, they are very intense, they are very scary, and it can seem almost impossible that you will not have these panic attacks, and that this panic attack will not end and it will go on forever. Now, if you're experiencing this, then actually seeing a therapist may well be able to help you, because we can work with these panic attacks and we can help you to understand them, manage them, and reduce them. So what we do is we work with those physical symptoms and start to realise that those physical symptoms are actually quite harmless to you. In that moment of intense fear, when those physical symptoms are so scary for you, it can seem almost impossible that they're never going to end, and they are going to lead to something kind of really dreadful for you. What we do is we work with those and we help you realise that they are harmless physical symptoms. We may even get you to experiment with actually bringing on those physical symptoms when you don't have a fear, and so that you can start to see that they are harmless, they start to calm down on their own, and that actually you have control of those physical symptoms. We would also work on your thoughts that might lead to that initial whoosh of fear, so that we can reduce that happening. And then we would also work on those thoughts that lead to that vicious cycle of the fear of the fear. And by working with that, again, we can help you understand that, manage that fear of fear, and reduce the intensity of those panic attacks and how often you have those panic attacks. And I've worked very successfully with people in being able to help them manage and understand their panic attacks, and usually over 6 to 12 weeks we find that those panic attacks start to reduce in their intensity, that they start to happen less often, and over time we get to a place where those panic attacks actually do stop happening. So if you feel that you are experiencing those intense moments of fear accompanied by those intense and scary moments of physical symptoms, then maybe you are having panic attacks, and it might be something that you want to investigate a little bit further. They are really awful, and those people that are having regular panic attacks, it can also lead to you then not even wanting to walk out your door, because you are so scared that you are going to have a panic attack, and then you're scared of perhaps the embarrassment of what might happen in public. Maybe you'll faint, maybe you'll be sick, or you are really scared that there is really something physically and medically wrong with you. So, as I say, there's panic attacks, and there is a possibility to work with them, but it is hard work and it takes a lot of time to be able to work with them. And so I would recommend finding a therapist to work with. Now, you can work with me. I offer face-to-face sessions, and as I say, you can find me on my website, www.seaclearcounselling.co.uk. Unfortunately, I'm fully booked for one-to-one sessions at the moment, but I do offer a 6-week course which can help you understand your anxiety a little better. I also run a Facebook anxiety support group. You can search for Beating Anxiety and join us there. Or if you live in Dorset, then we run a face-to-face support group in Dorset once a month, and there you have the support of myself along with other people that experience anxiety themselves, and together we work with understanding, managing and reducing the impact that anxiety has on you on a day-to-day basis. So if you'd like to know more about that, then please do email me at laura@seaclearcounselling.co.uk. But I hope that that's helped you understand what panic attacks are, those intense moments of fear accompanied by intense and very scary physical symptoms. I hope it's helped you to understand that those panic attacks are induced by the fear of the fear, and you can intensify the panic attacks through that fear of the fear. And I hope it's helped you to understand that actually those physical symptoms are harmless to you, that actually they will calm down on their own and they won't lead to the things that you are fearful of, those heart attacks, those choking to death, the fainting, the going crazy, maybe even feeling like you're going to die, and that actually you can work with these and reduce those physical symptoms, reduce those fearful thoughts, and reduce that fear of the fear, and reduce the intensity and the severity and the regularity of those panic attacks. So I hope that's been helpful to you, and I will see you again next Wednesday with another topic to help you understand, manage and reduce your anxiety. Bye for now.